KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano Program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Coming up on Prime Time, Brandon Acosta, the man accused of murder and rape of 15-year-old Tamika Nauta, has been found guilty. Plus, a raid yesterday over in Mongmong leads to the arrest of 4 men. And community testing continued today with a total of COVID-19 cases on Guam now past 330 as 2 more Guamanians have tested positive. If you're streaming us live on Facebook or watching us live on KUAM TV8, I'm Jason Salas, and we bid you and your family hafaday and good evening. Because in our top story, after just a day of deliberating, a jury has found Brandon Acosta guilty of the rape and murder of Tamika Nauta. Adriana Cotero has our top story from court.
Tamika Nauta was only 15 years old when she was found dead inside her Dededo home along Chalancota 2 years ago. Brandon Acosta stood before Superior Court Judge Vern Perez as the verdict was read this afternoon. He was charged with 12 counts of various crimes, including aggravated murder, criminal sexual conduct, aggravated assault, home invasion, and burglary. The case was prosecuted by Assistant Attorney General Lenny Rapadas.
Well, it's not a matter of victory or what. It's a matter of finding justice for Tamika. I think today's verdict rang loud and true for justice for her. I'm happy for the family that they finally get some kind of closure, and looking forward to talking to them after this. I haven't had a chance to speak with them yet, but I intend to.
After hearing the verdict, defense attorney William Pohl indicated to the court that he will file a post-trial motion to overturn the verdict.
We are asserting our right to speedy sentencing, but I will review. There's a recent case from the Guam Supreme Court on allowing in previous burglaries, and I believe that might be a basis to overturn the verdict. If that law is now controlling, which would mean that it was inappropriate to bring that in, requiring a new trial. So I put on record that I'm likely to do that next week.
Acosta is scheduled to be sentenced on August 12th, and he faces life in prison. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
While claiming he was going to be rich pending the arrival of a package of drugs, instead, local police executed a search warrant at a Mighty Man's apartment, leading to his arrest and 3 other men. As our Sabrina Salas Matanani now reports, during the raid, meth, prescription drugs, and a gun with ammunition were some of the items retrieved during the event.
Agents from the Guam Police Department's Special Investigations Section executed a search warrant at the Titanos Apartments located along Roy T. Damian Street.
We have our Criminal Investigation Division, our SAS unit of the Guam Fire Department, the Hazardous Response Team, to include additional medical personnel to assist us.
Arrested were 31-year-old Brandon Rufus Chandler, 21-year-old Uriah Cruz Cooper, 29-year-old Michael Gregory Rizal Jr., and 26-year-old Pearson Ken Cruz. All 4 were arrested for illegal possession of a controlled substance. During an interview on scene Wednesday night, police spokesperson Paul Tapao says the search was conducted as part of an ongoing drug investigation. When detectives entered the unit, a container with an unknown white powdery substance was located within the apartment complex. GFD's hazmat team was called in to conduct a tactical re-entry.
So there's a lot of things that are being done. We have both fire and our GPD personnel donning the hazardous suits, and of course they're going to be declining once they come out, so there is zones that are set up along the area.
After the substance was retrieved, GPD re-entered the apartment to begin their investigation. Police found suspected drug paraphernalia and meth, assorted prescription pills, cash, and a firearm. According to court documents, when police executed the search warrant, Chandler, Cooper, Cruz, and Rizal Jr. were found inside a bedroom. All 4 allegedly admitted to smoking meth, while Cooper and Chandler allegedly snorted alprazolam. At least 3 of the men arrested have criminal records. In February of last year, Chandler was arrested on drug charges following an incident that occurred at a Tamuning game room. In December 2019, he entered a deferred plea related to a drug possession case and is serving a 5-year probation term. Earlier this year, Rizal Jr. was arrested on drug charges, resisting arrest, reckless driving, and possessing a firearm without an ID. During an attempted pullover in Manilao in April, Rizal was on a motorcycle and took police on a high-speed chase. He crashed into a patrol car and tried to run away, but was captured. He is currently on parole. Meanwhile, Cruz was arrested in April 2015 on drug charges.
Now, aside from the 4 men, a 5th adult was inside the apartment along with 3 children. And in other crime news, 24-year-old Brandon Nauta was arrested and charged with drug possession and assault on a police officer, both as third-degree felonies. Court documents state that Nauta was pulled over on the 21st for a defective license plate. He said he did not have any documents for the car because it belonged to his father. When officers searched the car, they found a glass pipe with a suspected controlled substance as well as a bag and a cup holder with a crystalline substance. Nauta attempted to make a phone call reaching into his pocket, and that's when an officer grabbed his arm to prevent him from leaving, and Nauta allegedly swung at the officer with his fist. The officer was able to dodge the punch with a field test resulting in both items presumptive positive for amphetamines. As we reported on KUAM.com not too long ago, 20-year-old Javik Chitaro was arrested for home invasion, burglary, terrorizing, resisting arrest, and assault on a peace officer. Thursday afternoon, officers responded to a home invasion complaint at a home along Tunisus Crisostomo Street in Tamuning. Several family members were home when one of them saw Chitaro inside a kitchen. Chitaro was seen walking out of the dining room area and walked to the side of the home and began pacing back and forth. Police were notified and Chitaro was located near the Tamuning mayor's office, where a struggle ensued, with Chitaro even kicking an officer. He was booked and confined. Elsewhere on island, 30-year-old Darvina Jesus allegedly says she was looking for anything she could steal when she went into her neighbor's storage room and took his blower. The theft was reported on July the 20th, with Jesus seen on a home security camera allegedly climbing over a fence to get onto property and walking into the storage room. When she was interviewed, she allegedly admitted to entering the property and that she was looking for anything she could steal and sell. Jesus was arrested and charged with burglary as a second-degree felony, misdemeanor theft, and misdemeanor criminal trespass. In healthcare news, community testing for coronavirus was held at the Asan Maina Mayor's office today, with the Joint Information Center confirming that 2 new cases of coronavirus were reported by Public Health. In all, 382 people were tested for COVID-19 on Wednesday, with the number of active cases on Guam now 83, with 244 people having been released from isolation. There have been 332 cases in all, with 5 people having passed away from the virus. Well, nearly 400 specimens were taken from expanded testing sites, with the community continuing to make their way to the free drive-through and walk-in COVID-19 testing that is made possible with Public Health. And as I mentioned, today testing was held from 9 in the morning until noon at the Asan Maina Mayor's office. Public Health Nursing Administrator Margarita Gay says since they started the expanded testing, her agency has developed a flow and it's become easier to maintain.
The Tamuning was pretty hectic because, you know, it's a central area, and Asan is also central, but it's flowing much more ease because we're not in the middle of the highway. We're in the village, and we're spread out so we can accommodate all the cars that are here today.
Gay says the next community testing event will be in southern locations of Talafofo and Umatic, and says the announcement is forthcoming on the dates and times during August. Well, just how bad will the tourism numbers be next year? Guam Visitors Bureau projects just 250,000 arrivals, a huge drop from last year's record of nearly 1.6 million. GVB expects just a little over 116,000 visitors from Korea next year, less than 71,000 from Japan, and only about 6,500 from Taiwan, for a total of just over 251,000. For the time being, GVB will also go before senators for a budget hearing next week, with the agency, of course, funded through hotel occupancy taxes that are deposited in the Tourist Attraction Fund. But over the years, that fund has also been tapped for other programs, but GVB President and CEO Carl Gutierrez says he talked to senators about phasing out others so that only GVB would get that money.
We believe that the whole purpose of the TAF has been, eviscerated by taking away so much that we are funding half of Guam. and that we have to come to a better understanding on how those TAFs are to be used here. And I think it was the perfect time for us to bring to their attention that you're looking at the #1 agency here right now that's going to jumpstart this economy.
GVB is looking at a massive budget cut from $22 million last year to a projected $9.1 million for the next fiscal period. We'll get you up to speed on what goes on with that as it develops. Well, the island's perennial public littering problems and other news top the agenda of the first meeting today of the newly reconstituted Island Beautification Task Force. The group is chaired by Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio, who says one of his top priorities is to provide residential garbage pickup services for all Guamanians.
I'm interested in advocating and proposing additional legislation that may be necessary on the issue of litter control. And the big picture that I'm thinking about is universal trash collection, which I know the Mayor's Council has advocated for. Right now during COVID, I know there's an issue with solid waste on the business side, but really, in line with the efforts for sustainability, trying to take things out of the waste stream.
Meanwhile, it was also announced at the meeting that the Give Us a Moment Island Pride Beautification event that was postponed in late June due to a spike in COVID-positive cases is now scheduled for the 1st of August. The island-wide cleanup is being coordinated by the task force and the Guam Visitors Bureau ahead of the reopening of island tourism. There are many more island news headlines on the flip side of this break, so please keep streaming and keep watching us because Primetime will return right after this.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
At the mall as you enjoy your shopping, dining, or entertainment. You could also win 3 great cars from Atkins Kroll and thousands of prizes in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game. Present your mall receipts and have a chance to win the renowned performance Chevrolet Camaro, the unapologetic rugged Toyota 4Runner, or the head-turning Lexus ES 350 Luxury. Getaways to Manila, courtesy of Philippine Airlines, plus prizes from Foot Locker and Burger King. The more you shop, the more chance to win in Micronesia Mall's Cars, Prizes, and Getaways game.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust.
Hafaday, I'm Mona Silver Tyron.
My name is Samantha David.
I am retired Marine Corps Colonel Danny Santos.
Robert Underwood is one of the most respected men in Guam as a leader of our community, respected for his knowledge and his willingness to help.
He is energetic, committed to the development of young people, and absolutely trustworthy.
I have known Robert Underwood for over 30 years, and he is someone I trust without reservation.
In Washington, D.C., he will always fight for Guam. And in Guam, he will always work with all of us.
Ordinary people and community leaders alike trust him and his judgment.
He guided us, he inspired us, and he never let us down. He was there for all of us whenever we called on him.
This is why
I am ready for Underwood for Congress.
Please join me in voting for Robert Underwood.
I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back to Primetime, everybody. This morning, many island residents who lined up as early as 5 a.m. for DOE's emergency food distribution event unfortunately left empty-handed after it was canceled. The late notice of cancellation came just after 6 a.m. via DOE text message. Agency spokesperson Issa Baza says it was due to a supply shortage and the need to replenish supplies. Yet in a previous press release, the reason the distribution schedule was changed to every other Thursday was to allow for the replenishment of supplies with the last federal distribution on July the 9th. According to Superintendent John Fernandez, the reason for the rescheduling is shipping delays. He also apologized for the cancellation, saying, quote, "This should have been announced earlier than today, but unfortunately, with all that's going on, it was not." Distribution has been rescheduled to Thursday, July 30th. Getting back to news about our beloved Lieutenant Governor, Josh Tenorio led an open meeting with the Interagency on Homelessness and the Office of Homelessness and Poverty Prevention this morning, continuing efforts to provide holistic services to those without a permanent residence.
Catholic Social Services continues to do their outreach efforts. There are now 70 homeless individuals that are in the shelters.
Tenorio says the figure includes about 13 kids, adding that the shelter is nearly at capacity, and the General Services Agency continues negotiations for additional units. GORA Executive Director Ray Topaznia outlined projects pending CARES Act funding approval, including rent relief, rehousing, and training.
In particular, rent relief would be CSS and Salvation Army. And I guess that's on record now. But mortgage relief, we've actually partnered up with Alice's team at the Guam Housing Corporation. And I said a little bit about this in the media. We're going to be able, or at least Alice's group would be able to pay down up to 3 months of mortgage payments to income eligible households.
The agencies also discussed forming subcommittees addressing gaps and needs in research, including issues related to transportation. Well, heads up, an email scam is circulating according to our friends at the Economic Development Authority. The email message promotes the Guam Small Business Pandemic Assistance Grant Program and falsely claims to be a representative of GIDA. The email also includes an attachment of the grant application. A release issued this afternoon says to not provide any sort of personal or business information to the sender. Additionally, avoid clicking on any links, they could be phishing, including in the emails or attachments, as it may result in a virus being loaded on your device. So do be wary of that. The latest report on your government's revenues and expenditures shows that as of June, there was better than $45.5 million worth of shortfall in actual revenues collected versus revenues projected. But for the fiscal period ending September 30th, the report, known as the CRER, projects that the revenue shortfall will be reduced to about $13 million. The public sector is expecting a big boost this month as the income tax filing deadline was pushed from April 15th to July 15th. The July revenues are expected to be reported on the 20th of next month. Well, an emergency meeting is currently underway at the Guam Election Commission, and Executive Director of the agency, Maria Pangilinan, says the meeting was called as a result of public policy being signed into law Monday evening, allowing voters to come in starting July 30th to vote in office or absentee without an excuse.
So that will generate more than what we're used to in the past elections. Only people with excuse can come in to vote. But starting July 30th, anybody can come in to vote at our office.
With less than a week to prepare, Pangilinan says she and her team have been working relentlessly, putting together strategies for the board to review and approve. So are they ready to go? She says not quite yet, but they are working on it.
The resources that we need, most will be covered under our CARES grant, but we're working to facilitate using the CARES grant to hire people, to get additional space, and to make sure we can accommodate the voters that come.
Voters who plan on availing of in-office or absentee voting must make an appointment with the GEC. Upon arrival, they'll be screened and go through proper safety measures. Pangilinan says the whole voting process takes about 20 minutes. Well, more prime time is coming up. Please stay with us.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas. King's welcomes you back with our King's Time value menus, full of great deals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We hope to see your family soon at King's.
for the Love of Burgers is back with 6 of our most popular burgers, each for just $9.99 for a limited time at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
Take the party home with our new Get It To Go menu. Combo specials and kids meals, pizza, wings, and more. Now available for carryout at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
We didn't set out to make a hit.
Baby's been good to me, baby's been good to me. So many let me on my feet, so pushing let me on my feet.
We just sang our song.
'Cause my baby's got a lot. So let me testify.
Real bourbon, no apologies.
Let me testify.
Wild turkey. It'll find you.
Welcome back, everybody. On June 1st, the Department of Integrated Services for Individuals with Disabilities reopened their office to accommodate their clients' needs for in-person, face-to-face counseling and much more. The reopening also came with a new lead for the agency, as Deputy Director Michelle Perez was hired in the midst of the pandemic. This morning, Perez took our Adriana Cotero on a tour of their Division of Vocational Rehabilitation facility.
When the client comes up, what we have them do is sanitize their hands and go and sanitize your hands. And we just ask them if they can kindly follow the arrows.
By appointment only, and also only allowing one customer at a time. The Department of Integrated Services for Individuals with Disabilities, or DISID, has opened their Division of Vocational Rehabilitation facility for in-person meetings. However, DISID has implemented more stringent safety protocols in order to provide this service, explains Deputy Director Michelle Perez.
It's really essential for us to make sure that our clients are being taken care of, and we are practicing as much safety precautions as possible, because some of our clients are very vulnerable because of the different types of ailments that they have, and some of them have more than one. So we want to make sure that we don't have them being exposed any more than they have to be.
Paris says some of their customers remain uneasy with leaving their homes and coming out into the public sphere, but many need the face-to-face with their vocational rehabilitation counselors.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning. Welcome to TVR.
But we've had a lot of clients that have actually wanted to come in and have that one-to-one with their social worker or their counselor. So it depends on the client at that point. So with face-to-face appointments, how it works is we have to make sure that the client as well as the employee is safe. So everything had to be by appointment.
Nearly 2 months ago, DISID was able to open the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation facility, and prior to this, during the pandemic, everything was done via telework, either over the phone or email.
I personally have talked to some clients, and they like the fact that we're open to having them come in, because then the explanation of whatever services they're being provided is more of a one-to-one. So they have that assurance that, you know, we're not stopping services and that we're there to help them and guide them in whatever help they need.
As there's a nationwide shortage of PPE, DISID has taken the next step to provide PPE using their personal funds. Paris tells KUAM they purchased their own plexiglass, but were also given hand sanitizer by Homeland Security to allow them to return to regular operations and ensure they are fully assisting their customers. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
It's our network that has enabled the digital society that we all work, study, and live in every day. In Guam and the CNMI, the network connects us to vital services like hospitals and emergency care. Through it, we disseminate vital information that keeps you up to date. I'd like you to all know that we are totally committed to the network, and especially in trying times like these, we are all better together.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order as safely as we can.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Here's what you've been waiting for, your Thursday birthday shoutouts. July 23rd is a very special day for two of our fellow Guamanians, so join me everybody, won't you, and say happy birthday to Isa Bowling, who has a birthday today. Great name, both of them, Isa Bowling. Happy birthday, Isa, from all of your friends and family. That includes us here at KUAM and at Cold Stone Creamery. Also, Isaiah Godley, otherwise known as Izzy, celebrates birthday number 5. We love you so much with not 1, not 2, but 3 exclamation points, and this comes from your family. So Isa and Izzy, we hope that the both of you have the best birthday ever. Be proud to be from Guam. Put a smile on your face today, because it is your birthday and you're awesome. All right, go to KUAM.com if you would like to register for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, and stay tuned because coming up next, Tyler Matanani with In the Mix.
In the Mix is presented by Pika's Cafe Guam, located in the Star Building in Upper Tumon. Eat local, buy local, support local. Now open for dinner.
Happy day, I'm Tyler Matanani, and welcome to In the Mix. We've got a lot of exciting things ahead, and to start off, we went over to the trails to check out Let's Ride Guam's latest